Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Paul's Monday Market Update number 223 for Monday, 27th of April, 2026. Hope you're all well. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hope you're ready for another eventful week in markets. It really has been quite some year, hasn't it, so far? Anyway, you're very welcome here. If you're joining us for the first time, the Monday Market Update is just that. It is me flying through as much as I can share with you in the next 30 minutes, taking a look at strength and weakness within FX indices and commodities markets, looking at some charts of interest, okay, that you might want to add to your watch list, and then a look at the live markets. It is not a signal service. It's not trade recommendations. It is just me sharing with you what I'm looking at the moment, which might be of relevance or of interest to yourselves. As always, you're very welcome here, but just remember that you're always responsible for your own trading and investing decisions. And if you're looking for a little bit of help and support with your own trading journey, and you could do with a little bit of discipline, accountability, and consistency, well, you can join the VTP tag group, the Trader Accountability Group. There's a bit.ly code there or a QR code there, or you can ping me if you want a little bit more insight into that. All right, and let's finish with sterling. So I've got cable, euro sterling, pound Aussie, pound Canadian, FTSE, pound Kiwi, pound Swiss, pound yen. Okay, that's what I want to be looking at. It's a bit of a scrappy morning session, very bearish morning session, mostly for sterling, but pound against dollar swings. As I said, this is kind of war off, risk on, and even though sterling data isn't great, this is more a case of that kind of dollar risk off sort of move, and that's what we're kind of seeing there. I was looking to see here in the daily chart, where we're going to work our way lower, but bang, that is, yeah, that is just dollar weakness. I don't think that's any real love for sterling. I just think that is, I think that's just dollar weakness. That's what we're seeing there. Okay, yeah, bang, you can see last week was scrappy. Remember, we've got all that political shenanigans going on with sterling, and then, as I said, this is kind of bang, risk off, right? War off, risk on. There you go, WORO. That's what we're looking at there. That's what we're seeing there with cable. Pound against Japanese yen as well has been strange price action there. I was looking at it here. Yeah, we were looking at it last week, weren't we? This is the 4-hour chart of pound yen. I was talking about how it was just kind of hugging, sat on the 50. All right, sat on the 4-hour 50. Interestingly, like a couple of big engulfing candles there, okay, key reversal candles, looking at, well, is that is that sort of what's going on with Japan? Is that what's going on with Keir Starmer's future? But actually, we can see once again that is risk on, risk off, isn't it? Risk on for the pound, risk off. Risk on in terms of sterling strength and yen weakness. Okay, yen's bottom of the stamp. Pound against Swiss franc. This is the weekly chart. We flushed the lows, okay, at the start of the war, and we've just worked our way up. And the Swiss franc, the SNB have come out and said that they've been doing their own manipulating. That's why, if we look at those charts, that's daily chart for the last 6 weeks or so. Not pretty. If you're a swing trader, you're looking at that. You're being between the 50, between the 200, and you've got the 20 there as well. Yep, we're pushing a little bit higher. Maybe that is, as I said, that's kind of risk on mentality there that we are seeing. Comdols, all right. Pound against Aussie. Sterling up, sterling down. All right. Okay. Last week we're going a little bit sideways. Okay. And as I said, I think that's just that is just an indication of kind of people scratching their head over sterling. All right, scratching their head with it. Pound against New Zealand dollar on the weekly chart. We are sat above the 50, but once again, if I go down to the daily chart, I had been looking at here on the daily chart. Were we building this? Were we building a cup and handle? That's what I was looking at. Okay, that's what I'm looking to see whether that particularly plays out, and that would indicate kind of some sterling strength and Kiwi dollar weakness. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that plays through at the moment, and even pound Canadian dollar. Okay, if we go to the daily chart for the last week, we just sat above the 50, aren't we? There, we're just going sideways. All right, it's a reflection of, as I said, on the weekly charts, lots of spinning tops, lots of indecision candles. look at that 4-hour chart, pound against Canadian dollar. All right, you've got basically the 50 coming down, you've got the 200 coming up, price just coiling up. All right, in between it, you've got the Bank of Canada on Wednesday, you've got the Bank of England on Thursday, you've got FOMC on Wednesday night, you've got the Iran situation as well there, and I think that is probably a good place to end, just reflecting on how price has just gone sideways. Everybody's just waiting to see what the scores and the doors are before they basically look to make their decisions. Okay, and what's the next move and what's that next direction. Okay, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's draw it to a close there. I hope that's helped you. I hope that's given you a little bit of insight. It is going to be a busy week, okay? So make sure you're on top of your risk management. Make sure you're on top of the news flow, and make sure you're on top of the order flow. I hope you have yourselves a fabulous trading week, everybody. And as I said, we will not be here next Monday, but we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. And I will see you then. Trade well, everybody. Cheers.